music and let's plays, and a couple other things such as skits and vid blogs. Also sometimes I sing. This sums up the Controller Show.
Hello everyone, I'm the Controller, and today I'm reading the last Spooky Story Friday on a Tuesday, because as it is Halloween, I'm going as Spock from Star Trek. This is my best attempt at doing the hand. The hand, you know the hand. You know the hand. And this is a very special Spooky Story Friday, not only because it's on Tuesday instead of a Saturday like I did before, or a Friday like normal, because I'm reading my own story. This is not a story that you can read anywhere else or hear anywhere else. You can only hear it here, because I never upload it to Creepypasta Wiki because I can never figure it out. So, this is a very special episode indeed. I'll be filming my face for the duration of the video, so that way you can see my costume, because I want to dress up for Halloween, but this is the only video that I have for Halloween today that I can show my face left, because I don't have anything filmed left, and I've got family over, and this is the last video that I can do. And yeah, I wanted to read this to you guys, so here we go. I think I wrote this a couple years ago, and yeah, it says here this the story September 19th, 2013. So yeah, been a while, a whole 4 years since I read or even wrote this story. So please enjoy my cringe. I'm actually still kind of proud of the story. Last I read it, which was 4 years ago, so you know. let's see how that went. I was 12 years old at the time. Anyway, let me scoot forward here, and not gonna do a Spock impression to read the story. This could be reading it like a normal human being instead of a Vulcan. And here we go. If you don't already know, Toontown was a city of anthropomorphic cartoon characters, known as Toons, whom of which you create from your own design. You would use cartoon gags, like water seltzers, wow, I totally misspelled that word, I spelled seltzers, falling vaults, etc., as weapons against not-so-toony characters named cogs that were businessmen-like. Boring. A game named Club Penguin replaced Toontown, and according to Disney, it was because they had to make room for more games. But I know the real reason. I experienced the real reason. Dun dun dun! The story, September 19th, 2013. I was a big fan of Toontown, unlike most who are 15, who just think the game is dumb and childish. I got home from school one Friday afternoon and dropped my backpack off in the closet as soon as I did. I ran to my computer and turned it on. I clicked on my Toontown.com bookmark, but something was different. I felt unsure about playing Toontown today, which is unusual for me. But I figured it was just because I had been tired, and I loaded anyway. just wipe off that feeling. I logged into my account, and my computer began to load. Wow, load Toontown. Loading screen appeared, but instead of the normal two eyes that represented O's in the Toontown logo, there were two blank eyeballs, as if they were staring at me as I did them. The music was also different. Instead of the normal happy tune, a distorted version of the theme played. Notes were off-key or out of tune, and I thought I could hear whispering. This unsettled me, but I continued on out of curiosity. Wow. That's some serious curiosity, bro. When the game was done loading, I was immediately put into what looked like Donald's dreamland, but small details seemed off or out of place. The sky was colored a dark shade of red, almost black. The walkway's paving seemed cracked and broken. And I soon noticed my Toon was performing an animation that disturbed me. My Toon hung his head low, and I was not able to define his face or facial expressions. I began to see something come up behind me, and I turned my Toon around to find Donald in his sleepwalking state. Except his arms were reached out, they were hung to his sides, drooping, and his head was looking straight ahead with blank white eyeballs. As blank as his word or scared facial expression was. Oh, Donald didn't have Z's above him either, as he normally did. Upon further inspection of the playground, as they called it, I could hear what sounded like Daisy weeping. There were other Toons walking around as I was, all with bizarre animations that I couldn't understand. Toons' heads were twisted backwards, crooked, or not even present. Some of them held bloody baseball bats or things of that nature. I decided to teleport to my home, as I no longer could witness this obscure version of what once was Donald's dreamland. When I entered into my home, I already saw things wrong. Wallpaper was ripped off the walls. The painting on the walls showed nothing, and what disturbed me the most, my doodle pet named Sparky was nowhere to be found. I tried to call him using the command, but all it did was make a weird humming sound, like an old or dying light bulb. I had also noticed that the entirety of my friends on my friends list were non-existent. I went to the teleport option in I'm using a lot of quotes here. The teleport option in the friends list in my menu to go somewhere else, as the current environment unsettled me. Wow, everything is just unsettling you here, I mean, as it should. And noise that I couldn't really make out was slowly getting louder. I noticed the words Donald's nightmare, where Donald's dreamland should be, which is somewhat explained its weird inhabitants. I didn't even put explained, it's just which somewhat its weird inhabitants. I transported to Donald's shipwreck, which is why I presume to be Donald's dock. Upon entering, I could see nothing but fog, and there was no music. I could only see the outline of my tune, and I couldn't hear Donald's boat foghorn you usually hear every once in a while. Only the sound of crashing waves, which I could hear crystal clear, for no music was present. I began to walk forward, when my tune suddenly fell. I realized I was underwater, in the bay in the middle of the playground. I started to swim for land, but couldn't find it. I kept swimming for what seemed like forever when I came across what looked like Donald's boat, but it wasn't on the surface of water. It was below it. Donald's boat had sunk and had a huge hole in the side, with a cannonball lying inside the wreckage. I began to swim around the side to find something floating on the surface of the water. Donald's body, with an expression of fear on his face. He had the same blank eyes as before. It looked like he didn't die too brutally. His face was pale, so I assumed he had drowned. I immediately began to swim away from the crash site as fast as I could. I soon came to land and started to teleport to other places. I transported to Daisy's dead garden, and all the flowers were dead of wilting, and gravestones replaced all health pickups, one of which had a pink flower atop it. Daisy was nowhere to be found. I teleported to Minnie's broken melody land, and all the instruments were warped, bent, or broken. Minnie simply had an extremely frantic or worried expression as she walked, or should I say, ran around her broken playground. Goofy Speedway had all the tracks closed, and there was a bunch of tune cars stacked in a pile, set ablaze with fire. The Frostbite, which I guess was supposed to be the evil version of the Burr, it was like this cold snow place, simply had a thick snowstorm, with Pluto frozen in a block of ice afloat the water. I thought to myself, who could have done all this to the poor people of Toontown? I mean, like, I wouldn't call them poor. I mean, they might have some pretty good money there. I mean, they're Toons, and it's Disney, and all the money in the world, but, whatever. But at this point, I was horrified, and I wanted to go show my mother. But there was one place I had to go before I left, to see if any character in Toontown was okay. Mickey's Playground, which is the only place with that same name. It hadn't settled me more than I already was. I teleported there, and surprisingly found everything to be okay. The music was normal, the sky was blue, and everything was how it should be. But that was until I went inside Toon Hall, where Mickey usually was. I don't know if that's true. I don't think Mickey's usually in there, but okay. When I entered the massive building, the music stopped, and I was greeted with a long hall with one thing at the end of it. Mickey, who didn't have white eyes, instead they were hollow, but something red stained his hands, and the end of the axe he was holding. Blood. Period. He started doing his normal walking animation towards me, but sped up. I turned around and tried to leave the building. It wouldn't let me. I then ran to get my mom, as I couldn't take it anymore. I brought my mom into my room, and my computer monitor no longer showed Toon Hall. It was simply at the homepage. I guess of Toontown.com. You didn't really specify what homepage. Are you talking about the desktop? Is that what you call a homepage? Oh, okay. The aftermath. This is the after area in big letters. If you attempt to visit Toontown.com today, you'll simply be redirected to Disney.com. But I found out what really happened. My Uncle Brian used to intern as a software programmer at Shell Games, a company that helped with the creation of Toontown, and he told me what had really happened. That's the fourth time you said, what really happened? What happened? You can explain now. It turns out, one of the lead programmers was fired for mental instability that was beginning to get too far out of hand. To get back at Shell and the other developers that worked for Toontown, he installed his own version of the program into the system. It was most likely the correct thing to do in his mind. His psychotic adaptation was actually only online for less than an hour before the developers managed to shut the servers down, so my uncle couldn't believe what I'd seen. But how else would I have known? The programmer ended up killing himself later that day, so he wouldn't be forced to cope with law enforcement and the consequences that his capture would bring. And that is my story. It's nowhere near as good as I remember it, obviously, because I probably only read this like a year or two ago, probably maybe 3. But yeah, that was a story that I wrote, and my dad helped me write. And yeah, I'm still kind of proud of this because I did write a creepypasta, and it is based on a game that I really like a lot. But at the same time, it's still pretty bad. I got handed to myself for not including hyper-realistic blood, but I did stop and like have a pause when blood was on Mickey's hands, and that was you know, that was great. But yeah, that was my story, and this is the only place to hear that story because I never upload it anywhere. So if anyone wants to hear the pure masterpiece majesty that is Tooned Out. I don't know if I ever said the name, but it's called Tooned Out, as in cartoon doubt. Yeah, yeah. Don't know why either. Also, the name of this document for some reason is Tooned Out 2, as in T-O-O. I think I was trying to write a sequel. I don't know what the hell was the matter with me. This 12-year-old who got a hold of Microsoft Word and decided to go to town on it and write his own little creepypasta. But good job, me, from 5 years ago, 4 years ago. But yeah, that's the story. Nothing else to it than that. Hope you guys like my costume. The wig is horrible right now because I don't have it brushed. But yeah, hope you guys all have a great Halloween. I'll try to upload this before it becomes nighttime so you guys can see this before you go out trick-or-treating or whatever you kiddies like to do. Go out to your parties, go out to a lake, get murdered by a guy with a hockey mask. I don't know, whatever you feel like doing on Halloween. Just be safe. Don't, you know, don't go to trunk or treat. That's bull. Don't go to that. No. Don't do that. Anyways, everyone have a safe Halloween. Have fun. I'm gonna be taking a break for a while because after this video, I have nothing else planned for November for my normal videos. So I'm gonna be taking a week off. I might take a little bit more than a week off, but you know, please forgive me. It's the holidays. I'm gonna have family over, and I need to actually film those other episodes for November and beyond because I have nothing prepared, and I mean nothing. So please forgive me for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway. And yeah, have a happy Halloween, everyone. You know, it only comes once a year. Enjoy it. So don't be cooped up watching my videos. I don't know why you'd be doing that, but don't be cooped up inside all day watching videos. Go have fun. Go have fun with your friends, family, whatever you want to do. And I will see you guys in like a week or 2, I guess. Happy Halloween, you guys. Bye-bye.